An interesting feature of Caesarea Philippi that might give insight to what Yeshua meant when he said, "The gates of Sheol will not overcome it," is what is known as the jaws of death. This cave is filled with small stones due to earthquakes that happened in the past. However, during Yeshua's time, the pit in the cave was filled with still water, whose depth was unfathomable, according to the Jewish historian Josephus. During occult rituals, the participants would drop their sacrifices into the water that filled the pit in the cave. The presence of blood in the water downstream was believed by the pagans to be a sign that the gods accepted their sacrifices. Could the jaws of death be the actual gateways of Sheol, where the Antichrist and the fallen angels make their entrance to the earth from the pit? Illuminati adepts of the secret societies believe that the subterranean world of Shamballah exists. Although there are varying narratives, the following is a general description. Shamballah is a city hidden among mountains, barred in addition by a great lake, and only approachable through a narrow cave. In the heart of the city is a vast tower, the palace of the King of Shamballah. But the city stretches both up and down. It includes a vast network of underground caves and tunnels, spreading out all over the world. This underground realm within Shamballah is called Agarthi, which means inaccessible. It must be emphasized that these Illuminati adepts of secret societies channel entities from the demonic realm. The messages that they receive from these entities are a deception that might have some truth to it. The scripture reveals that there is a deep underground dungeon called the Abyss, where the Antichrist and the fallen angels of the pre-flood world are imprisoned. The narrative of Shamballah is a perversion of this truth, a narrative that was originally dark, transformed to be a narrative of light to deceive the Illuminists. Those who are familiar with biblical prophecy can see a few traces of the Antichrist in the following description of the King of Shamballah, or the King of Agarthi. The ruler of Agarthi was the king of the world, who was in direct touch with the supreme higher being, and also governed the world by exerting telepathic and psychic powers over the other rulers in the surface of the earth. From time to time, he actually emerged and met with human agents, instructing them on how to carry out his wishes for the world. This description of the King of Shamballah may give us a clue on how the Antichrist, who is imprisoned in the pit, may speak to the Illuminati hierarchy from time to time. He probably meets with his agents through occult ritual channeling and gives them instructions on how to manipulate world events to bring in the New World Order and the return of the pre-flood world occult religion. This description also says that the King of Shamballah is in direct touch with the Supreme Higher Being, which is a cryptic reference to Satan. This reminds me of Revelation 13. To it, the dragon gave its power and throne and great authority. Another likely possibility of what describes the communication set up between the Dark Realm and the Illuminati is that Satan and the fallen angels are communicating directly to the Illuminati through channeling, and they are instructing them in how to set the groundwork for the kingdom of Antichrist, who is cryptically called the King of Shamballah. The King of Shamballah supposedly gave a prophecy to his loyal servants that is described in the following. In 1890, the King of the world is said to have uttered a series of prophecies about the next 50 years of world history. He predicted a series of bloody wars and revolutions, after which the people of Agarthi would come up to the surface of the earth and take over. This has vivid resemblance to the Antichrist, who will ascend from the pit with his fallen angels to take over the world. He will do this during a time of chaos, when many nations of the world are at war with each other, and the world economy has collapsed. He will provide a temporary solution, and the whole world will embrace him, because finally, there is a leader that has emerged that will institute a world rule that brings some peace and stability.